What's going on, brothers? What is going on? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport. Hope you're doing well worldwide. Sorry about that. It's been a long day for me. But press on 1 in the live stream chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Mayday, Mayday, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. How is my audio? How is my audio? Is it good? Who's here in the building? Who's here? Who is here? Is my audio good? Thank you, Ozzy, for confirming. Any more ones in the chat? How's my audio? Who's here? So far as Ozzy confirming. Anyone else want to confirm if your audio is good? Who's in the building? Coin Champs, awesome. So let's get straight into it. Brothers, of course, when you come in the live stream today, please like the video, hit the support, please, super chats, PayPal donations, join the Patreon, book your IT consultations, etc., etc., and of course, cop the merch too. So let's get straight into it, brothers. So today we shall be breaking down Nicaragua. Okay, I got a very special guest here today called Mr. Harold, who's here to break it down for us. Harold, how you doing today, bro?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, excited to get this next podcast done. So do it.
Awesome, brother. So Harold, thank you for your time, brother. Much appreciated, brother. Do you mind giving us a brief intro as to who you are, where you're from, and anything interesting about you?
Yeah, from the kind of I live right outside New Orleans from the U.S. You might notice me from the Laos and the Guatemala stream. So yeah, I've been to about 35 countries, had a lot of different experiences with different cultures. So I have a good sample size to share, and I would really like to help everybody out there learn about how to live a better life abroad.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, Nicaragua. Okay, very interesting country to go to. Can I ask why you went there in the first place? 'Cause I think there's a lot of issues between Nicaragua and US, but why did you go there in the first place, bro?
Oh wow, I guess I wasn't so aware of any issues I personally saw or have heard of. What exactly are you referring to when you say issues?
So I think just in terms of I think there's history, right? So in regards to there's a TV show called Snowfall. I'm not sure if you've seen it, and it's just in regards to I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but there's been issues there in terms of political movements in Nicaragua. US not agreeing to it, so there's a bit of animosity between US and Nicaragua.
Oh well, yeah, that could be. I know, I don't know to what extent of the Banana Republic stuff was in Nicaragua, but I mean, I know as far as Central America, like the U.S. Business industry took it over so they could basically enslave the people and make them like farm bananas and stuff like that. And there was actually a coup there, strangely enough. So there was a lot of political unrest when I went there. But I actually went there because I was meeting a Korean girl. So I met this Korean girl um, in Mexico City, and we just we really hit it off. She was traveling through Central America, kind of the Gringo Trail, and then I ended up
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Or is our guest dropped off? Oh boy. Okay. Turn your camera off, Harold. Turn your camera off. Let me bring in Harold again in the background. All right, it's Mr. Harold. Are you back?
okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think the internet just kind of failed for a second. But what's the last thing you heard?
So you were meeting a Korean girl in Nicaragua.
Yeah, I was meeting a Korean girl there, so that's pretty much the main reason I went there. It was quite the journey because I went from Cancun through Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador for a couple of days, and then finally I met her in Nicaragua in Grenada. So it's
Awesome, bro.
a real.
All right, bro. Your case is pretty bad. I can't really hear you that much, and I'm hearing background noise as well.
Okay, let me see if I can move here. Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, is that better?
Much better. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Harold, are you back?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, brother. So, where were you in Nicaragua, brother? What city or cities did you visit?
I just visited Grenada. Or no, excuse me. I visited Grenada, and there was another smaller city. I think it was called San Pedro. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's two cities I visited there.
Okay.
I skipped Tegucigalpa. I think that's what it's called. Because I've heard a lot of bad things about the capital, and I'm not really into Latin American capitals that much. Or sorry, excuse me, Managua. I skipped Managua.
Okay, awesome, bro.
So yeah, that city I went to was called Leon.
All right, brother. I can't hear you. Okay, I'm hearing background noise, bro. It's not working out, brother, today in this stream because it's just too much background noise, brother. I'll keep it real with you. Is this a point where we got to reschedule, bro? It's no problem if we have to, bro, because we need to have we have a quality stream where we can hear you and there's all background noise, brother. So, what's looking at, bro?
Maybe I think I can move, but yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's pretty loud. I didn't think it was going to be this loud. So
there's a dog, there's babies crying, there's a white woman talking in the background, bro. I can't hear you, brother. I'll be real with you.
Okay. Yeah, we could go ahead and do it later, or yeah, we could just yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't think it was going to be so loud.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Harold. Brothers, I apologize, brothers, but I can't hear him, and I don't think it's fair on y'all brothers to not be able to hear him too. So we're gonna have to reschedule the stream because it's just it ain't working out, bruv. All right. Thank you, Mr. Harold. Much appreciated, bro. All right, Harold. Say something, bro. Hello?
Oh yeah, I know it was very loud, but yeah, literally everybody left now, so it's just me. But I don't know. I think
okay.
maybe, but yeah, I got you. I understand. It's very loud. It's never been this crowded at this cafe before, so I don't know. But everybody left that was here. Like literally everybody just cleared out. So we could.
Okay.
Would you mind maybe? I think it would be better if we just started over. To be honest with you, and I'm not just saying that.
Okay, brother. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So okay. So why did you visit Nicaragua in the first place?
Yeah, I originally visited there because yeah, I met a Korean girl in Mexico City, and we just sort of we really hit it off, and then we were just basically just keeping in touch through video chat basically, and she was she was backpacking in throughout Central America. So at the time I was really interested in traveling also, and I was living in Mexico, so I just decided to go to accompany her on our travels. And so I went through Cancun, then Guatemala, El Salvador, and then I eventually went to Nicaragua, and then in Nicaragua that's where I met the Korean girl that I was going there to meet.
Awesome, brother. So, brother, when it comes to accommodation, where were you staying, brother? Was it Airbnb? Was it hotel? Break it down for us, bro, in Nicaragua.
I was staying. I was, yeah, pretty much just hostels actually. Yeah, just hostels the whole time, and they were uh relatively inexpensive. But the only problem was is that there was a lot of unrest with what was going on in Nicaragua. So they didn't even actually want to accept you their own currency. So although the accommodations were cheap, like it was a lot of money and hassle to like exchange dollars to their currency back to my own currency because they would only accept dollars, and that was kind of, and I thought they needed their currency, so I transferred my dollars, and it was just a lot of money. So yeah.
Okay. And brother, how was it like sitting in a hostel? Were you there with women, or how was that there, brother, and the people you met there?
In that particular trip, I met a girl from Holland, and she just kind of accompanied me as I went to go meet the Korean girl. So yeah, but there didn't seem like there was that many people in the hostels. Like all the hostels seemed really dead. So I don't know what was up with that, but like I stayed in like four hostels there, and they were all pretty dead. Like there was just a couple of people there. I think maybe it was because like the summer in Nicaragua was pretty hot in the summer, and when I was there it was like, scorching hot. But yeah, but yeah, mostly hostels.
Okay, brother. Interesting, interesting. Were you the only black man there in the hostel?
Yeah, I didn't see many black people there. Lots of Latinos. I mean, they're kind of dark skinned, but no, I was the only black man in the hostels and around there. So
Okay, awesome, bro. Awesome. So now, next question for you, brother. So when you were there in Nicaragua, if you have any insights to who actually runs that country, is it Nicaraguan people or is it America by proxy? Any sort of insight into that?
um, that's a tough question to for me to figure out. You know, I see when I was there, like as I said previously, there was a like a coup d'état, so there was a lot of political unrest, and they were overthrowing the government. Um, so I think like on the surface, there's like the Nicaraguans are running it, and also I there's like wealthy, more like white people in power. But they're Nicaraguan, but really deep down, I think the United States controls Nicaragua. I mean, the fact that they won't even accept their own currency and they will only take dollars, I think can tell you the whole story right there. I think it's kind of uh in a lot of ways probably controlled by the United States.
Wow. Okay, brother. Okay. So, brother, you as a Black American man, how were you treated there, brother, by the people there in Nicaragua, brother? Break it down for us.
I pretty much had a good experience. There was I don't personally think they were like mean to me or racist in any way. I mean I thought it was treated with respect there. Like I didn't have any huge problems.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Go
yeah,
on.
yeah. Maybe I think the people there are like kind of do rip people off a lot. Like that's kind of just in my experience. And because I feel like you can never really like trust like what the price is going to be, or they're always going to try to jack up the price if they know you're from another place. So that kind of sucked. But like the people were like in general nice. You know what I mean? But Nicaragua isn't as cheap as you think. I think given the scams, and also just it's just not as cheap as you might think.
Okay. And we'll get to that very soon, the cost of living. So,
Uh-huh.
so, brother, in terms of investments, right? Investments and business opportunities and business insights there. Is that something that possibles can do in Nicaragua, or is that something that it's not going to fly at all? Because I heard they're quiet. No, go on, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I think actually Nicaragua might be a good place to do for some business opportunities. I think probably tourism might be a good opportunity. Um, however, at the same time, when I was there, it seemed kind of dead. But with that being said, I think there could be some more development in the tourism industry, and there's a market for things. So if you tried some American concepts there, it might work. The economy is like pretty underdeveloped. So yeah, I think there could be some opportunities. Me personally, I'd probably choose if I was gonna do it, I might choose some other countries in Latin America, but at the same time, the cost of living is cheaper. You could probably get in business cheaper in Nicaragua versus a lot of other places.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, Nicaraguan people, how are they like, brother? Are they introverts, extroverts? Are they, to themselves? Are they angry people? Are they kind people? Break it down for us.
They seem very social, and they seem very kind in general. So that's just kind of the general vibe. I mean, I think Americans are pretty social in general, but I think Nicaraguans kind of take it to the next level. So yeah, I think nice and sociable people, extroverted. I think.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Um, so, brother, do they drink quite a lot? I'm guessing a lot of alcohol in their culture.
I didn't necessarily think it was a lot like more than normal, but yeah, it's not like a place where people aren't drinking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I mean I've been to the UK. I bet they're probably drinking more in the UK than Nicaragua, but um yeah, I mean definitely there's probably a culture of like, hanging out with drinking a beer or something like that. But I felt like Nicaragua was a very like tranquil place and relaxed. Like I didn't necessarily see like really, really big nightlife and things like that.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, next question for you, brother, right, is in terms of um, brother, I heard that Nicaragua is a very, you know, is a country that doesn't really accept black people and people of other nationalities, brother. Is that a incorrect statement in your opinion?
Man, I'm not really sure where that came from. I mean, I was maybe I mean I personally didn't experience like the feeling like I wasn't accepted. Uh I mean I am black, but like I am kind of like maybe even lighter. My skin's probably lighter than even most people there, so I don't know if it's like a skin color thing. But I didn't really get that vibe at all. Um yeah, that's just my personal experience.
Okay. Interesting, brother. Interesting. So, next one for you, brother, now is in terms of, so how do you meet people and make friends there, bro, in Nicaragua? What's your tips for us? How do you do it yourself? Break it down for us, brother.
As opposed to the US where things are a bit like people are like more so in the house, like Nicaragua is like everybody's sort of out and about, like whether it be in the square, the market, so um yeah, I think you could just kind of meet people just around where you're at. um and people there are pretty extroverted, so if you were talking to them, I couldn't imagine you would have any problem. So I would just kind of meet people kind of just you know in town pretty much. If that makes sense.
Awesome. Awesome, brother. Brother, you would approach them and say hello, or they will come to you. Break it down for us.
Um, you know I Nick I think Nicaraguans are more extroverted than average. Like yeah. So I think there could be a good chance you approach them, but I wouldn't imagine they would be hard to like. It would be hard to make friends there. That's just my perception of being there.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, transportation. How does one around in Nicaragua? Is it a bus? Is it a train? Is it Uber? Break it down for us, bro.
As with a lot of Central America, the main mode of transportation for like long distance travel is like the bus. There's like a lot of like reformed school buses that were transformed into like these chicken bus, and then yeah, so that's how people generally get around. I don't know. I mean, they probably have Uber there, but I never took an Uber because it was kind of like once I got in on the bus, it was just pretty much everything you needed to do could just be you could just walk. So I would probably say walking or taking the bus. I also think that probably in Managua, the capital, I think they're probably driving more, but I was kind of more in historic cities. Like Grenada is a very walkable city.
Awesome, awesome, bro. Awesome. So next one for you, brother, is in terms of so is it a cash-based society, brother, or is it cashless in Nicaragua? Good afternoon. Hello, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. That it was like Siri or something. So you're saying is it a cash based society?
Yeah, or is it cashless?
I would say very much a cash society. Yeah, I would even say more so than in Mexico, which is very cash based. Yeah, it could be up there with one of the most cash based societies that I've seen. Yeah, and like I did talk a little bit about this, but so yeah, if I could have used my debit card or something, it would have been great because there was a lot of political unrest and the currency was unstable and no one trusts the currency. So I basically had like $200 that I turned into the local currency. I forget what the currency was. And then basically then they said they don't accept the currencies and I couldn't pay with the card, so I had to transfer that $200 into dollars, and then I lost like $60 on that transaction. So it was really just ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I think it's very traditional in the sense that it's only cash there, and it's been a couple of years since I've been there, so hopefully it's gotten better. But yeah, it's very much a cash society, I think.
Where did you convert the currency? Was it in the country and in the banks, or was it outside the country in USA and brought your cash over?
It was within the country. It was kind of near the border. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Was it third party or was it official conversion?
It was from a bank. So I'm not sure what do you mean by third party?
So something that isn't the bank, maybe like a small company or a small shop.
Yeah, well, this was in a bank, so yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, okay, brother. So next question for you, brother, is now in terms of food. So tell us more about Nicaraguan food, brother. Is it tasty? Is it good? And what's your favorite cuisine in Nicaragua?
The food wasn't bad. I wasn't necessarily so impressed with it. But I think maybe my sample size was a little bit limited. Um, yeah, but it was kind of similar to like you know I would say like the type of food you might find in Guatemala or other Central American places, but I wasn't blown away with it, and it was like more expensive than I thought. But there was like a lot of plantains, rice and beans, things like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's similar. Yeah, like a lot of plantains, rice and beans, meat, fish, things like that.
Okay, okay, brother. So next one is in terms of cost of living. So when you compare the cost of living of Nicaragua to America, is America more expensive or is it cheaper than Nicaragua? Break it down for us, bro.
Oh, I mean, it's much cheaper than. Well, I wouldn't say much cheaper. I mean, it's cheaper for sure, but I mean, I think Nicaragua isn't as cheap as you think. Like, I definitely think Mexico, for example, is a lot cheaper. Um, I think Nicaragua was just slightly cheaper um than Costa Rica, and Costa Rica is actually pretty expensive. You do if you know what I mean. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I
Go
might
on.
say U.S. could be. Wow, it could be. I might say it's 35% cheaper. But I mean, Nick, I mean, it's not. I mean, like for instance, maybe if you went to a restaurant, it'd be $7, $8. But like, I mean, that's not as good as you think. You know what I mean? Like, especially I think Nicaragua kind of isn't nearly as like, you know, business oriented as the U.S. So I think that is pretty expensive for a country like to the development of Nicaragua.
Awesome. Awesome, bro. So next question for you, brother, is safety. So safety in the daytime, nighttime, by yourself, partying. Is it a safe country, brother? Were you safe?
I mean, me personally, I mean, it's not like I wouldn't necessarily say something happened to me, but I don't necessarily think it's the most safe country you could go to. Uh, yeah. So I mean, that when I was there, there was this coup d'état, and then there was like people marching on the street. Um, and I don't know what was happening, but I saw like a lot of police with machine guns and things like that. So, I mean, it kind of didn't, scream this is a safe country to me. But I mean, I was not robbed or no one did anything to me. Like I had no problems personally there. But I think there's definitely safer countries in the world.
Well, was there any point where you felt unease in Nicaragua?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I mean, I am pretty, I'm pretty tall, big. I mean, I think I can hold my own. I mean, I didn't necessarily feel like something would go wrong, but I definitely wouldn't say it's like Asia where, generally things aren't going to happen. So,
Awesome. Awesome, brother. So, brother, now in terms of racism, okay, did you experience that at all? Any sort of looks towards you, weird looks, any sort of, slur said towards you in Spanish or in English, the N word used particularly?
no, no, definitely not the N word. You know, some of I mean, no, there was no, I didn't experience any racism. I mean, I used my friend from Dominican Republic. He sometimes we would be. This wasn't in Nicaragua, but this was Mexico. Like sometimes we'd be walking together, and he would like say he would like kind of like they didn't know he could speak Spanish. So then he went by them and he was like, "Yo, like what are you talking about? Like I could speak Spanish." You know what I'm saying? And they were like saying some like racist type of stuff. So I mean, I wonder if I might be oblivious to some of the stuff, but I mean, from my experience, everybody was cool and respectful to me.
Wow. So, let me ask this, brother, right? So, so the word negro means black, right? But can be used in negative connotation. But I'd even say saying that in general is racist. Did you hear that said towards you or black people? The negro word.
Oh, like Negro? Oh, sorry, I
Yeah,
don't mean to. I mean
yeah.
I, that's not a bad. That's not like a racial short slur. It's just like meaning black. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? It's like as if you'd say black. It's not like I don't. As far as I know, I don't think that's racist. But um, yeah, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything like that. You know.
So if someone was describing a black person in Nicaragua, you didn't hear them say the N word, negro word.
Mm, no, no. I mean, I was hanging out with some Nicaraguans just briefly. In a couple of bars and at the hostel. It just seemed like it was just normal. I don't, as far as I know, I don't think there's any. No, I don't think anybody said that.
Wow. Okay. Okay, brother. That's good. So, brother, culture. So, is Nicaragua a conservative culture, or is it a liberal culture, or is it a mixture of both, brother? Break it down for me.
You know, it seems to me it's a pretty conservative culture. I mean, especially if you compare it to like UK, US. Um, yeah, I mean, some of these things can be hard to perceive, but it seemed like it's traditional, simple, relatively conservative in general.
Wow. Okay. Okay, brother. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
nowhere near the degeneracy that you might see in the U.S. I think, or the West in general.
So tell me what makes it conservative.
I would say it just seems like just a simple traditional lifestyle. So that to me that's an indicator of it being conservative. It's not like such a wealthy place where there's so many like crazy political ideas and you know things that are going on with gender roles and things like that. It just seems like it's more simple. Like it seems like it's almost like a bit in the past, you know, with how they look at things. And maybe it's not as conservative as it seemed, but it just seemed. I would say it's. I definitely would say it seemed more traditional. And if that means conservative, I think it would probably mean conservative. But it was definitely traditional.
Awesome. Awesome,
Does
bro.
that make sense?
Awesome. Makes a lot of sense, brother. So
Okay.
next question for you, brother, is lifestyle. So what's the average lifestyle like of a Nicaraguan, brother, in Nicaragua? Is it a middle class lifestyle? Is it a rich lifestyle? Is it a poor lifestyle? Break it down for me.
Um. Well, I think I mean I didn't go to Managua, so I think maybe there you could kind of live like more of a fast paced lifestyle. You know, like my I didn't go there, but the Korean girl was telling me that like um Managua looked like parts of New Orleans, which I thought was very interesting. So maybe you could kind of live sort of the fast life in Managua. Um, it seemed, from my experience in Leon, Leon was interesting, but everything like the buildings were a bit old. It wasn't so. Um, I would say maybe put together. Like, I mean, it was cool, like for like an experience, but they didn't necessarily have that many new buildings, and the old buildings weren't necessarily great. Really, really well maintained. So, it seemed a little rough out there. Grenada's a beautiful city. Like Grenada's a beautiful city, but it definitely seemed a lot grittier than what you might find in the West.
Okay. Okay, bro. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
back?
yeah. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, awesome, brother. So, what kind of lifestyle would a passport bro live there in Nicaragua, in your honest opinion, brother? With these dollars or pounds? Break it down for me.
Oh, I mean, if you could somehow bring a Western income there, or maybe some savings, yeah, I mean, you probably, I mean, it would be very economically advantageous for sure. I think there's some cheaper places you could go, but yeah, I mean, you could probably live a pretty high class lifestyle. You'd probably be, one of the top guys there if you could bring your pounds or dollars there. Um, I think there's a lot things, different places you could live. Like there's a lot of beaches there. There's a huge lake, so you could maybe live on the water. Or you could probably get the city life in Managua. And also Grenada and Leon are very interesting historic cities. I mean, I think Grenada was absolutely beautiful because you kind of have the historic aspect of it, and then you also have like it's also on the water, and it's a lake, but it's like the water too. So I would say natural, kind of like a natural life, slow life. Um, it's a probably a lot cheaper than here, or probably a lot cheaper than the West in general. Um, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, bro, awesome. So, next question for you, brother, is language. So, do we have to know Spanish to communicate in Nicaragua, or is English enough, brother?
Um, I think you can get around with English, but I think you need to learn Spanish there if you're really gonna like integrate there. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think you probably need to learn Spanish eventually. There are a lot of people that speak English though in Nicaragua though. So I mean, if you were there for a vacation, you'd be fine.
Okay, awesome, bro. Um, were you speaking English mostly, or were you speaking Spanish?
I know. I mean, I know a lot of Spanish. I mean, I'm like conversational in Spanish, so it'd be. I was smoking mostly speaking Spanish to the locals.
Okay, awesome, bro. Um, sorry, yeah, sorry. So next question for you, brother, is in terms of weather. So how's weather like in Nicaragua when you were there? Is it a nice weather? Is it really hot, cold? Is it a mixture of both? Break it down for me, bro.
Now this it's been a couple of years, but I think I was there in like May, and it was scorching hot. I mean, I'm telling you, like it was. I think it was the hottest I've ever seen. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I remember I was in a gym, like I went to work out, and it was just like it was like an outdoor gym, and everything's kind of outdoor because it's so hot, and it was just like, man, it was just it was just. I think it's definitely top three hottest places I've ever been, if not the hottest. So I bet in the winter it's a lot more mild, but I think maybe even spring to summer is just way too hot. You know,
Awesome. Awesome, bro. So nightlife. So did you party at all in Nicaragua?
man. So I met this girl there, so I was kind of more like in like relationship mode. Um, but I didn't necessarily find any good parties. I mean, and that was in all of Central America. It seemed like in general the nightlife was just pretty bad. So I mean, I think Central America is more like a chill place. Like the parties would be like more with the backpackers because like you've heard of the Gringo Trail, right, or that term.
No, I haven't. No.
So Gringo Trail is like basically just like all this like basically this route from like southern Mexico to Panama. That's a lot of Europeans going. So like the tourists are partying, but like it didn't seem like there was like very many good clubs or bars or things like that. I mean, and I might maybe I just didn't know where to go, but from I could never find one. Like, I will say that.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. So next question for you, brother, is in terms of how's the internet speed out there in Nicaragua?
I was working remotely at the time when I was in Nicaragua, and I thought it was I had no problems. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. I think it was pretty fast.
Okay. Okay. Awesome, bro. And so you were in Grenada, right? What other cities were you in?
I was in Grenada and Leon.
Leon. Okay. So out of those two, which were your favorite out of both of them? Or tell us the good and bad of both cities, brother. Break it down for me.
To be honest with you, I like both. I like both Grenada and Leon. Like both of them were very interesting and historic cities. It was like the pace was very slow. So I kind of sometimes in really hot, slow places, I kind of just get like a little bit stressed. But like as far as the city was pretty cool. The nightlife was I couldn't really find cool nightlife, so that was one thing I didn't like about it, and it was way too hot. But the history and culture seemed very interesting. Um, Leon was a little bit beat up. That's what I remember about it. It's a little bit gritty and beat up. Grenada was beautiful though. I mean, I really loved Grenada. Um, like a lot of culture, history. The lake was beautiful. Um, you know, there wasn't any bars that were packed, but like there were some bars and nightlife going on. So I have a lot of good things to say about Grenada. Actually, that's where I met the girl too, and it was really special meeting her. Like I remember that night in Grenada, me and that Korean girl, we I think we made out like all night. I mean, you know, yeah. So it was right from like 10 to like 8 a.m. It was just crazy. So yeah, it was a really interesting, special time in a lot of ways in Grenada.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Z, you want to call in Z and speak that kind of energy? You want to call in and what do you mean to hear from your people? Do you mean in terms of is that you don't want passport balls near them, or is that in terms of the horrible woman? break it down for us. See. Awesome, bro. Okay. So, brother, let's go into the woman part, brother. So, I definitely want to know more about Nicaraguan woman, brother. I want to know, first and foremost, brother, Nicaraguan women checking for brothers.
Um. Oh well, I was kind of single focused on this Korean girl, so maybe I was kind of oblivious to the women. I don't necessarily think I was getting play from the local women though. Um, yeah, from my experience, it didn't seem like they were really into me. But I was kind of preoccupied because I had I was with the Dutch girl and I was with the Korean girl. But I didn't get any choosing signals for sure. I definitely didn't get it. I don't think I even got one choosing signal. And when I'm traveling, I usually it seems like women are at least kind of checking me out, but I didn't really get that vibe in Nicaragua.
Oh, interesting, brother. Interesting. So, okay. So the Dutch chick, right? You met in the hostel, right?
Uh-huh. No,
And
well,
she was, she was.
I met her on a boat in a lake in Guatemala. Like we were taking a boat to another city. But yeah.
Okay. And she was checking for you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's a funny story. This guy, he was actually from the U.S., but he was in Guatemala, and we actually met that night, and he was like, oh yeah, like y'all can get this hotel together and save money, and I was like, I was like, I didn't say anything, but I thought there's no way she's gonna go for that, but she went for it. So yeah, so but she had a boyfriend, but I mean, I definitely think in different circumstances, she would have, been yeah, I think she was feeling me for sure, and I think she just had a boyfriend at the time. So
Okay. So okay, you're saying that Nicaraguan women weren't checking you out. So, but from what you saw, from what you experienced, from what you heard, right? Would you say Nicaraguan women are wifey, brother, or not?
I feel like I couldn't really comment on that. I, if if I would assume so. Like I definitely probably might want to get with a Nicaraguan woman than a American woman, but I didn't personally interact with the women there. Like I was just kind of I was I really I mean we weren't official yet, but I pretty much had a girlfriend while I was out there. So um I can kind of speak on Central American women in general. I would definitely say they're wifey if you're into that.
Okay. Okay. So, but body type wise, brother, what are they packing and facial wise? So are these women good looking on average? Do they have nice bodies or no?
Oh man, honestly, I wasn't really into the women there. Um, we had the Guatemala chat or the Guatemala stream, and as I said, I wasn't really into the women in Guatemala, and I'm also not really into the women in Nicaragua either. They're like mostly kind of Latina, but like I think there's pretty Latinas. I mean, Latinas are beautiful, but like they're like very indigenous Latinas, so they're typically like short, kind of stubby, you know, um, like they don't have terrible bodies, but it's nothing to write home about. Um, so in general, I didn't necessarily see any good looking Nicaraguan women. It's better than Guatemala, though. I will say that it's better than Guatemala, and there are some like more Costa Rican looking Nicaraguans out there, which are pretty, which is a good make up a good sample size of the population. I would just say kind of for looks, I think there might be better locations, if you were looking for a woman. Um, so there's a couple good looking women out there, but I don't think it's anything to write home about.
Okay. Interesting, brother. Interesting. So next question, if you're right, then in terms of the personality of Nicaraguan chicks, brother, uh, what's her personality like, brother, from what you heard, witnessed, and experienced?
I think extroverted, kind of, yeah, I would say, pretty. I think yeah, I think pretty extroverted people in general, kind of like seems like they like to be outside, you know, and socializing. That's kind of what I got from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see other black men with them in Nicaragua, or were you the only black guy for the whole trip?
I didn't see any black people since I think since Guatemala. Yeah, and I saw a couple. Yeah, I saw a couple there. Even Guatemalans that were black, but I didn't see any black people in Nicaragua, and I didn't see any women with the black men out there either.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. So,
I mean, I'm not
okay.
saying they wouldn't. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I'd imagine if you went out there and you were approaching the women there, I'm not. I don't think they'd be close to it. Um, yeah, but I didn't see it when I was there.
Interesting. Okay, brother. Those are all my questions about the woman. It doesn't appear that Nicaraguan women are women that brothers should go for.
I don't think so. I would go other places. I mean, it could happen. I mean, I'm not. I definitely don't think the women there would be close to meeting black men. Definitely not. But I just think there's so many better places you could choose. Like even Costa Rica, I bet you have a better shot. You know, in Costa Rica, and the women look better there too. Anyway.
Mm, okay. Okay. So, brother, did you see Korean, Japanese woman there in Nicaragua? Or
To be
sorry, hold on, sorry, or any nationalities of women there, races of women there in Nicaragua?
I mean, see, it seemed like it was just locals, um, like, and the locals have a breakdown of like, there's some of like the Latinas that are looking like Costa Rican women, which are kind of, you know, Spanish looking, but a little bit darker. Um, then, and then there are the more indigenous looking. I would say it's probably a 70-30 split. So maybe like there's like 70% of the women are like kind of the indigenous looking, and then 30% of the more Spanish looking women. Um, I didn't see any other nationalities. There's backpackers and travelers that are from Europe, usually from Europe. I mean, maybe from US too, but usually from Europe. So there's Europeans there, but not they're like traveling. It's not like locals. So
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not like there's like a Japanese. Not that I know of. It didn't seem like there's like a lot of Japanese Nicaraguans or something. No, or like some other type of culture there.
Okay. All right, brother. Brother, those are all my questions. So, brother, if you want to call in, brothers, and give your opinion here on Nicaragua, you got a couple minutes to do so. Thank you, bro, Harold. Much appreciated, brother. Anything else you
Oh
want to add
yeah.
in terms of the good and bad about Nicaragua, or something I've missed out?
Sorry, what was that last thing you said?
Anything else you want to add about Nicaragua that I've missed out? Good, bad information? Break it down for us.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a good place to visit. Like there's a lot of nature there. There's this place where you can go like sledding down this huge mountain. You know, beach there. There's beautiful beaches on the Pacific Ocean, and like there's this like volcano you can go to near the lake. And I think Grenada. If I would go to a city there, I'd go to Grenada. I mean, Grenada was really cool. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good country to visit. Not necessarily if you're for meeting women. I I really did. I mean, I met my first girlfriend there though, but she was from Korea. So I mean, it was kind of special for me in that sense. So but yeah, I probably for just if you were just randomly going there, I don't know. I don't know about the girls there.
Okay, awesome, bro. All right, brothers. Great stream. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Harold. And brothers, I will see you brothers on the